What you gonna do, fiat dollar? On CryptoBullGod and his cryptomaniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you!
Do you even buy these drops, bro? Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and in today's video, we're going to discuss if you have the balls to be buying the drops in a massive bull cycle. I would like to thank my cousin for thinking of me to send me this shirt. It was actually my inspiration for the title of this video. I was searching for some sort of title to put, and as soon as I saw this shirt, it became very clear what I should name the video. So, with that being said, if you would like to follow me, I am located on Twitter at CryptoBullGod. I'm located on Tradingview at CryptoBullGod. Obviously, I'm located on YouTube at CryptoBullGod. You can also send me an email at cryptobullgod@gmail.com related to my podcast. We're going to keep today's video very short. I'm going to discuss key charts in Bitcoin. There's all sorts of ways you could approach this. Like I always say to you, there's probabilities for all sorts of different scenarios. We're going to focus on the scenario that I find most likely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you with evidence, supporting charts, to help formulate the conclusion that I've come to, which is leading me to believe the most likely direction that we're going to be going. So stay with me. By the way, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and in the comment box specifically, tell me right now if you are a bull or a bear. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing with you is financial advice. I am very simply put looking to educate, help, and spread sound technical analysis to the community to help others in making informed decisions. When making your own personal financial decisions regarding what to invest in, when to buy, when to sell, ultimately that ownership, it falls on you. My hope, however, is that you can utilize what I share as another data point in helping you to think through what may be best for your own personal approach. All right, so there's a few charts, like I said, that we're going to look at. If you've been following me for some time now, you know what are the key charts that I love to look at when I'm taking a more micro perspective market view on the market is the 12-hour chart on Bitcoin. Something that I do want to reiterate as we kind of go through some of these charts, it's a key point to kind of hone in on that you want to focus in on is when you're looking at the charts, when you zoom out, when there's more time frame within each candle, meaning when we're looking at a 1 month versus a 12-hour. If you're looking at a higher time frame chart and there's more data within each candlestick, it lends itself to a more credible observation. So keep that in mind as we're moving forward. A 1 month chart will give a more, it's more telling of a story versus a 1 minute chart as an example. So this is the 12-hour. The thing I want to hone in on here in particular is this pink line. It's the 200 SMA on the 12-hour. I've hit on this so many times. And what I've said that is historically what Bitcoin likes to do in a bull cycle is it likes to hug this line. And if it goes below it, it doesn't go below it very long, and you should expect a sharp recovery. Let's actually just go back in time real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. This is the 2017 bull cycle. Once we broke our prior all-time high, which is this line right here, this horizontal golden line right here, see this line? Once we broke it, look, we came down, we touched the 200 SMA on the 12-hour, but watch what happened. We quickly reversed course and broke back above it. Here, in September, we broke below the 200 SMA, and we quickly reversed course and resumed up, okay? There were only 2 touches after we broke our prior all-time high in the 2017 bull cycle. Let's flip to 2021 and see what just happened. Well, this horizontal line right here, I don't think this line is thick enough so that you can appreciate it. This down here was our prior cycle all-time high, okay? When we broke it, how many times have we come back to revisit the 200 SMA on the 12-hour chart? Well, this is our first time, okay? And look what's happened. Okay, I tweeted about this early this morning. So this is why, if you're following me on YouTube, you're following me on Twitter, you should be following me on both, because I'm presenting charts, I'm presenting frequent updates on Twitter. So if you're not following me, I would suggest that you give me a follow. So we wicked below the 200 SMA, and we've quickly recovered since then. Now, the other thing I want to point out, this golden zone, how did I come up with it? Well, I said, you know what? We have these two green areas of support that I would fully expect to hold. But I actually looked at the daily chart and created a golden zone here and said, I don't think we're going to go below this. Now, as it so happens, we almost wicked to the top of this golden zone. You look how close we were there. But regardless, the key area, the real key point that you want to keep in mind on the Bitcoin 12-hour chart, you want to watch this 200 SMA. I would only be concerned if we started getting several candle body closes below this 200 SMA. Let's go to a weekly chart. This is this NVT chart I've shared in prior videos. I'm going to have to revisit the NVT at the end of this cycle to see how much value that it's going to add moving forward, because personally I'm getting a little suspect. This thing's been red forever. So for the moment, what I'd like to actually focus on is, this is a weekly chart. This is the 21, so the orange line here is the 21 weekly moving average, and the blue line here, let me actually get these indicators off. And the blue line is the 21 exponential moving average. Now, historically in bull markets, bull cycles, as you can see here, Bitcoin likes to come down and it likes to revisit these key moving averages, right? So once we broke, okay, again, this was this green line here, right here. This is our prior all-time high. Once we broke it, we came back tested the 21 exponential moving average, touched it here. Okay, so we touched it here, here. So we made 3 weekly candle touches on the 21 EMA once we broke our cycle high. What's happened so far? This, get this out of the way. This was our prior cycle high, this green horizontal line. Once we broke it, how many times have we come down and touched it? None. As you recall, again, if you follow me on Twitter, I've said that the rise in Bitcoin has been sharper than the prior cycle. We were bound for a correction. It's healthy. It's healthy to see a correction at this point, okay? So I would not be surprised if by next week, again, these are moving averages, and what that implies is it's an average price. It's following price, right? So next week, these lines here are going to be a little higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a wick hit one of these lines. In particular, I'd be looking for this 21 EMA. Next week, it might be, just kind of looking at the numbers real quick. Next week, it might be sitting at, it might be sitting at about 45,500 or 45,400. So it wouldn't surprise me to see prices go down to, maybe we wick to 46 or 45,000. I posted about this on Twitter this morning. So this right here, is our prior bull cycle run that I'm about to run through you with in real time, okay? This is this dark red line here, okay? This was our prior cycle high. When we broke it, it was off to the races, all right? But watch what happens here. In the month of September, look at that nasty candle. Look at that volatility right here. Imagine yourself being in the environment back in 2017. Here, we've broken our prior cycle high. People are really excited. 4 months in a row, we've had green candles. Look at this epic green Jesus candle right here. We moved from $2,600 all the way up to almost $4,800. All right, imagine being in the market at that point. We almost doubled in price, all right? Pretty epic, right? September comes along, okay? This candlestick right here, this red candlestick that's circled here, this one right here. September comes along, and look at what this represents is price opened here. Price opened at about $4,800. It went all the way down below $3,000 and then recovered in price back up to just below $4,400. That's volatility. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Exercise common sense and intuition. Yes, we're in a massive bull market. Bull market and bull cycle. Yes, prices are going to appreciate tremendously in value from here, but things are not going to go straight up. This is how people get weeded out. If you can't understand the big picture, you're going to get weeded out, you're going to capitulate, and you're going to sell because you haven't taken the time to educate yourself to understand the bigger picture. And that's what I'm attempting to do here. So let's see what happened after this volatile month. Well, sweet baby Jesus, we had 3 green months there where we topped out at about 20,000, right? So this now looks, because the scale auto adjusts, all right, the chart auto adjusts, this candle, look how massive it looked back here because we were all the way down here, and look how tiny it looks now. That is where I'm going with this chart. That's what I think is happening right now. We're going to look back in time several months out, and this is going to look tiny, right? So let's go to present time. Now look what's happened, okay? This is the arrow from my tweet earlier, okay? So we break all-time high, right? This 19,666, let's call it 20,000, okay? Once we break all-time high, look at these green months. We went from 20,000 all the way up past 60,000. We went up to nearly $62,000. That's incredible growth, right? We've done like a 3x. And now look what's happened. Whoop-de-freaking do. We got a red month. We were due for red month. That's another thing. I tweeted about this so many weeks ago that I said, look out for April or May. I'm very suspect that it's either going to be April or May where we're going to get a very volatile month and there's going to be a red candle. We're overdue for a red candle. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Now, what I'd like to see happen, I'll tell you what I'd like to see happen with this monthly candle. What I could see happening is this red body becoming a lot thinner. Maybe we close around 55,000 or 56,000 or 57,000. I'd like to see a thinner red body and a longer wick down here. And that's what I'd like to see, and that's what I anticipate happening. So I do think we're going to see some recovery next week. And then I believe that for the next several months, we're going to have further upside, further green candles. So this is on the monthly. Let's go over, this is a chart I haven't looked at in a while. I've shared this with everyone a few videos ago. This is the log regression line. This is a 2-week, so the time frame here on the chart is 2 weeks. Each candlestick represents 2 weeks of price action. The main takeaway that I wanted people to take from this chart was this blue line. In our prior bull cycle, this is our prior bull cycle right here in 2017, we came down and we touched this blue line. Looks like we touched it. Well, when we broke our cycle high, we only touched it once. Okay, so we touched it in September when we had that volatile period that I pointed out on the monthly chart we just looked at. Look, this September candle corresponds to that monthly candle we just looked at where we saw a lot of volatility. So not surprising, after we broke our cycle high, we came down and we touched this blue 10 simple moving average on a 2-week chart. So what's happening now? Well, if we come over here, what we're seeing is that next week actually is going to print a new candle. The blue line will increase in value. This blue line, this 10 simple moving average, I would anticipate based on prior figures here for it to be around 47,000, maybe a little higher than 47,000. So this would suggest that next week, I think it's entirely possible that we could go as low as in the 47, 47.5 range. So again, so far kind of looking at the numbers, it wouldn't be surprising to see anything around 45 to 47,000 next week if we were to go lower at this point, but I would expect a firm recovery at that point. Now, these log regression lines are something that I drew out as hypothetically where they might be. This range here, actually, interestingly enough, between July and October is kind of, I'm expecting the cycle to peak a lot earlier than most people are. So I just roughly drew out sometime between mid-July and late October for Bitcoin to peak. All coins would peak after that. I also think, real quick before we get off this chart, this top regression line, I think we're going to challenge that. There's no reason that this top regression line has historically proven to show where Bitcoin has topped, but there's no reason that it has to do that this time around. I think it's entirely possible and quite likely that we will exceed this regression line. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, so this is the liquid index for Bitcoin on a daily. This is something that I think a lot of you are familiar with. It's kind of out there. There's a lot of different charts for Bitcoin. This is another one. This is the Bitcoin investor tool. And if you scroll back in time, again, this chart's on a daily view, you'll see that in the prior cycles when we've topped out, let's actually just focus on the prior cycle. What happened was this line ends up being challenging to pass through. Once we actually pass it, we extend over that Bitcoin investor tool line by quite a bit for our cycle high, and that's historically been the case every time. We're nowhere even near that line right now as we're correcting. Now, this line is going to continue to go up. It's at 80,000 right now. So, hypothetically, if we topped out 3 months from now, I mean, this line's going to be, I would probably say, over $100,000. So again, this is the fact that we're nowhere near this and we haven't gone above it is another suggestion that we're nowhere near topping. Let's actually look at something we haven't looked at before. This is the stock to flow model that everyone hopefully is familiar with. I'm not going to go over the fundamentals of the model itself, but what you can see here, if you can just use pattern recognition, typically when Bitcoin has peaked, you can see cycle peaks here, right? Let's focus on this peak here, this peak here. Every single time the cycle peaks, and this is what I've referred to on Twitter, there's euphoria in the market, right? Euphoria, what happens is it pushes the price above the stock to flow line, okay? So the stock to flow line up here, it looks like it's it's essentially at 100,000, okay? Looks like it's actually a little below there, but I believe it's right around 100,000. So the point is another indication to say that we're getting really frothy and things might be near a top would be to check out the stock to flow and see where we're at. So I'm using all these data points, right? And I wanted to actually quick hit on 2 other charts, but the whole point is I'm using all these different data points to help validate and solidify where I think we're at in the market. There is no one data point. There's no one chart that you can look at. I would look at all these charts to help me to discern where we're at within the cycle. And to that point, the other thing I wanted to point out to you, Bitcoin dominance, I'm on record for saying, look, we're not even below 50%. Look where we're at, 51.5%. Okay, we're nowhere near topping. In the last cycle, we bottomed at 35.4%. I'm on record for saying I think that the Bitcoin dominance will drop below 35.4%. We're nowhere near that right now. Again, I said it in my podcast, could we create a higher low and fall somewhere in here? Could we double bottom? Those are all possible things, but we're not even below 50% right now. It's ridiculous to think that the cycle has topped at this point, looking at this chart. This is another indicator. Total altcoin market cap. Now this one really solidifies for me that altcoins are nowhere near topping. Do you see the January 17? Again, these are things I tweeted about. And I have a video out there on alt season about this. Can you even see the candlestick, January 2017? No, you can't, because that's how much growth was exhibited in the year 2017 that resulted in a top in the market back in January of 2018 of 474 billion, okay? We are early into breaking above our prior cycle high, okay? And what I'm fully expecting and what I'm fully anticipating is that just like right now, as the scale auto adjusts within this chart for billions of dollars in the cryptocurrency altcoin market cap, in the current time, because it's auto scaled, you can't even see January of 2017. When we kind of go out and we're in the year 2022, that's what's going to happen to this candlestick right here. Again, none of this is financial advice, but if you're selling now, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to be pretty pissed off at yourself because we've just broken our cycle high. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. Nothing goes straight up. Nothing goes straight down, okay? We're just starting to enter the stage where things are getting exciting. There hasn't been euphoria yet. A lot of projects that have been here for prior cycles, let's look at Dash or Stellar Lumens or XRP, none of these things have even broken their prior cycle high yet. So there's just no, I give it a very, very, very low probability that we've topped. So where are we headed from here? Okay, so what are my thoughts in kind of putting all the pieces together? Well, I would come back to the 12-hour on a more micro view, and I would expect us to maintain, okay? We're going to maintain price levels right around here, okay? This is, I could see us kind of chopping around here for a little bit, okay? But ultimately then what's going to happen is we're going to, even if we test the bottom of this zone, who knows, maybe we get down to 45 or 46,000 next week, but what's going to happen after that? We're going to shoot up. So bringing it to the monthly view, okay? What I'm anticipating is for a longer wick on the bottom here, for April not to look as red body candle for the month. I expect a very healthy, nice, green monthly candle for Bitcoin, and the market's going to continue going up. And then as far as the dominance, it's going to continue to drop. So keep in mind, I've hit on this in other videos, Bitcoin dominance can drop. All that means is that its share of the market capitalization is dropping because altcoins are gobbling up more of it. But Bitcoin's price, its USD price, can continue to go up as its dominance is dropping. That is what I'm anticipating fully. So I anticipate going into May, we're going to see Bitcoin's price going up, Bitcoin's dominance dropping. Altcoins are going to begin to continue, they're going to continue to run very, very hard. So that's where I'm at with the market. Please don't get shaken out. As always, do your own due diligence. I'm hopeful that you use me as a data validation point and you value the TA that I bring you. If you do, please share the content, subscribe, like the video. It takes 5 seconds. And drop a comment. Let me know if you're a bull or a bear. So until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward.